Very shy person.
You're fine. You're fine. All right, guys. Welcome to episode 2 of the Danger Ahead podcast with your hosts, Duncan and Jared. And today we have a special guest. Her name is Sam. As you can see from her tag, it's just Sam. Uh, so we're going to go over to basically the election results. As you guys know, Trump has won. And things tend to get a little bit crazy, but we have seen no riots, we've seen no invasion of capitals, we've seen no rigged elections, we've seen none of that stuff that happened in 2020. So Sam is here because I saw a little some on the exit polls, right? And on the exit polls, it looks like you had a lot of Latinos and Latinas and Latinxes voting for Trump. So we're gonna get started on that end. Sam, why do you think after he said his remarks on Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, all the Spanish speaking countries and all that, besides Spain, because he don't attack Europe. Why do you think they supported him more than they did Kamala Harris?
Plain and simple. Money in our pocket.
Ooh, okay. Okay, explain.
Latinos, a lot of Latinos who immigrate from their home country, even the Latinos like from Puerto Rico. It's very important for us to have money in our pockets to take care of our families, take care of our homes, our cars, etc. And a lot of Latinos also notice that things got very expensive with the Biden administration. I can tell you from firsthand, our electric bill is disgustingly high, and groceries are extremely expensive. So for Hispanics, we value the fact that we work. We're very hardworking. I think everyone's very hardworking, but Latinos, we do the harder jobs, and it's not a lie. Most of the Latinos are the ones cleaning. We clean the hospitals, we clean hotels, we're the cleaners, and we want the money that we're earning to stretch. And it's very important for the economy to be better, for our own selfish maybe reasons, but he made us money.
Okay, so when you say he made us money,
Hmm.
what policy are you talking about?
Well, I can't tell you specific policies, but I can tell you financially we were in a much better place.
Okay,
We
so
were
so
much
do you feel? Let's say, when were you born, Sam? In the '90s, right? You're a '90s child.
94
Okay, so you're a '90s baby. Okay,
on this
so
baby.
do you feel financially, right?
Hmm.
The '90s around '94 was better than 2019 ish.
Well, I was a baby in 94, so I didn't know. I don't
I mean, back in the day, chips was 25 cents. You could get a
know.
teeny juice for
Yeah.
25 cents. A slice of
Thank
pizza
you.
was 50.
Thank you for
So,
also adding the fact that we call it a teeny juice. I got excited
oh yeah,
about
yeah, it's
that as
teeny. Yeah,
well. um,
teeny.
but I think that financially we were in a much better place back then. I don't know who was president in 94. I don't.
I recall it was a Bush. It was
Bush?
the
Okay.
worst of the Bushes. It was Mr. Bush. It
It
was
was
Mr.
Papa
Bush,
Bush.
and he kind of messed up the economy around that time. So I just want you to
Well,
know that.
again, I was completely unaware of how the financials were back then, but I think that it's known that at least within my circle,
Uh-huh.
we we don't foresee us being able to purchase a home if the Biden or Kamala administration would have continued. And maybe I'm basing my judgment on the fact that Kamala was vice president to Biden, right? So it's possible that I'm being very judgmental based off of that. However, I couldn't foresee myself buying a home for my child, because a home isn't really just for me; it's for my child
Most
as well.
definitely, yeah, no doubt.
And even today I had a conversation with a couple, and they bought their home during the first Trump administration. it was much easier for them to buy a home. And I think that for myself, I would say that I'm selfishly waiting for him to come into office and give him time to hopefully fix things, right? Hopefully is a key word because you don't know how things can go, for us to be able to buy a home. I think any young adult or any parent wants to provide a home, not just an apartment or not rent a house, like an actual home for their family.
No, that's extremely valid. Um, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that in regards to things got expensive. I feel like what this election itself kind of proved though is we are hilariously uninformed. Like it is ridiculous in regards to just the average American because number one, right? And you're correct because I made the most money I ever made under Trump, right? But it had nothing to do with Trump. It had a lot to do with the fact that the market was horrible because COVID, right? And basically, things weren't really expensive under COVID because the demand wasn't there anymore. You
Mhm.
didn't have everybody out and about. You didn't have, other than toilet paper, right? That's when they rose the prices on toilet paper because everybody buying all that toilet paper.
And some
But
water packages.
and hell yeah, and water. But see, that's why I invested in a water cooler because I'm gonna get
Mhm.
my water regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But what ended up happening was COVID happened, the world shut down, the demand wasn't there anymore, and you had an excess amount of supply. So prices were a lot cheaper, even in regards to housing, right? Interest rates, in order to like help out businesses, I believe interest rates almost dropped to like 0%,
Mhm.
right? So it was the ideal. COVID, I always say COVID has been a blessing and a curse because the ideal situation to progress further in life was during COVID.
It's true.
Other than that, everything else was shitty. So what you saw, right, going into COVID was Obama's administration ending, Trump's administration starting. So you had a healthy economy for since 2010. And what ends up happening is, we're all making as much money as we possibly can. COVID happens. He kind of dropped the ball a little bit on COVID. Even the checks that we got wasn't really him. He just put his name on it, right? He had to be convinced to sign that order, right? But COVID happened and the supply went down, and then COVID stopped. Like, well, not stopped, but we can go outside again.
We kind of,
right? Yeah, we kind of transitioned back outside. So when that transition, now that companies have adjusted to that supply being low, guess what? Supply is low now, and demand is high. So what happens to the prices? No, we need more. We need more money. We need more money. And let's be real. Let's be honest. A big chunk of inflation is the fact that the companies wanted to exceed profits. Because right after COVID, what did you hear? Oh, company broke profit expectations and they tripled last year's profits and this year's and all that stuff. So they deliberately made things more expensive. Right? Now, we started to transition back, and this is why I give the Biden administration credit. We're shifting back to how it was pre-COVID. That's what's been happening. And if you look at the last 20 years, if not 30, that's why 94 with Bush.
Mhm.
Bush ruined the economy. Clinton fixed it. Second Bush ruined the economy. Obama fixed it. I say Trump didn't ruin the economy, but he did bad for the economy. Biden started fixing it. Now Trump's back again. That's been the pattern the last 20-some years. Now I'm hoping to God I am completely wrong about Trump. Because I always say this, the one thing you don't want to do with leaders is hope they fail. That's just messed up, right? At the same, and I'm gonna tell you something about in regards to housing, because this is actually messed up, and blame your banks mostly. As you know, I'm in a housing situation where I'm trying to buy a house, and technically that house is also trying to be sold. I know how much the house is worth because I know that house in and out. And I've seen the property taxes. I've seen the breakdown from the city. I've seen everything. The house is only worth about 700,000. But because inspectors and what do they call them? They kind of evaluate your house
An
and tell you
appraisal. Appraisers. Yeah.
Appraisers. What they do is they look at the most expensive houses in the area that are the same type and go based off of that. So even though I know this house isn't worth that much in regards to the actual cost of it, the appraiser is going to come in and say it's worth way more because of the house down the street. They don't go based off actuality; they go based off of potential. And I found my same house, by the way. I found my grandfather's old appraisal from '92, and it was one sheet of paper. And you know what it did? It said it didn't give market value. It took the asking price, found all the shit wrong with the house, and went, yeah, we're not paying this. We ask that you lower it because this costs this costs this, this costs this. But now, when it comes to this election, I understand how people feel where it's like, yeah, back then it was so good. Today it's so expensive. But if we understood, I feel like if the world, not even, if most Americans understood why, I think we would have saw a shift in voting. At the same time, let's be real. I didn't want Biden based off how he was doing. Because that man, see now, I'll be honest with y'all.
Bro, even if we like well before like at around 2 years into his presidency, before he really had like sort of the senile issue going, I know y'all remember he would just fall.
Mhm.
And people were like, what happened? He fell up the stairs. I remember he was in a park with the Secret Service. He rolled up and was, oh, hey, Mr. President. And he just tips over and was like, what was that? So even before he had the senile issues coming in, there was like, little red flags like, is he okay? Is he doing all right? Should we be worried? And then, they still pushed him. He's like, no, I can still run. And when we got up to that first debate, first of all, he should have never been at the debate. He shouldn't have been able to, they should have said, no, you're not running again. That's what should have happened 100%. But he said, no, he's like, I'm strong, I got it. And he gets into this debate and literally just has an old man moment, a good chunk of it. And everyone's just like, we're cooked. We're done. That did nothing to inspire confidence in his capabilities. So at that point, that really hurt the Democrats on that side.
So Sam,
Yeah.
we heard why the Latinxes, whatever they prefer to be called.
Mhm.
We heard why that happened. So my question is, did you think that his comments on those Spanish-speaking countries, do you think that just wasn't enough to shift the vote?
No.
Really?
I'm a woman, right? Women are feeling like their rights are going to be taken away. I don't feel that way. I am the daughter of a woman who crossed the Mexican border to come to this country. So an immigrant who is here illegally. I don't feel like it's going to be a major issue with him being in office for immigrants. Will it wait? Will it affect some? Yes. And I can come to that. And I think you and I have had this conversation in the past before about who we're allowing into this country. And I think that honestly, his comments, also being half Puerto Rican, as much as I try to like forget my father's side, I am half Puerto Rican and my family's Puerto Rican, and they did not feel any type of way with any of the comments made by him or comedians in regards to the island. There was no offense taken. And I honestly, because it came from a comedian who's known for saying crazy things. I mean, he famously told Kim Kardashian she was a hoe. Like, okay. Huh? I mean, it is what it is, right? Like he's known for just being completely blunt and doesn't care about what he says. I didn't take offense by it though. I didn't take offense, and I know people who may have taken offense, and I know people that really didn't take any offense. I think that this society is very sensitive, and I think that I say crazy things from time to time. I say crazy things, and I think that if you base my comments, or if I'm just amongst my friends joking around, if you base my comments and you take it literal, I think that you're absolutely insane. Because half of the time, half of the things I say are just me joking around, and it's not that serious. And I think that this society is just super sensitive. Like you can't say a thing that people aren't getting offended.
That I'll give you. I do think today's society is pretty bad at accepting a joke, right? At the same time, the joke got to be funny. let's be honest. Like, I know everybody don't got the same cup of tea when it comes to jokes, but we can all agree when a joke is funny when it's not.
Yeah.
We know dark humor. Let's be honest. Dark humor is one of the funniest shits of all time.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, right? We love Bernie Mac, all right? God damn it. But at the same time, again, it gotta be funny. So when you just say shit and it's dark and you like, "Hi guys, haha, it's a joke." Nobody laughing, bro. You erase that joke from your repertoire. Okay.
Well, yeah, no.
I'm just saying. Now,
that comedian joke was not funny.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't funny.
I don't know. I think he kind of read the crowd as this racist crowd, so they're gonna be ha ha he. But let me. I digress. Okay, because he was in PA most of all. You just don't want to do that in Pennsylvania. I'm just saying. So quick question, right? Quick question. I have. This is a hypothetical, right? I wanted to wipe out $100 billion in tax revenue. Do you think that's going to hurt the economy or help the economy?
It depends. Things can go either way. Things could one can make a decision that could realistically just go either way.
But 100 billion? You can't even count to 100 billion in your lifetime.
No,
you can't. If you start from one right now, you are not reaching 100 billion. I don't even think you can reach a billion, right? I don't think so, Jared, right? There's a limit.
It will take a long.
I think it takes like 90 years
really
to
try
a billion
count.
or something like that.
But basically, think about how much money we've given away.
How much?
You tell me. Think about the amount of money we gave to it. Like, if we added the money we gave and time and effort we put into Afghanistan, war.
Okay, war. Okay.
The wars. We gave money away to the conflict between Israel and Gaza.
No, by the way, we're not just correct. We're not giving money. We're giving old equipment. Just
it's assets, more or less.
Yeah, we're giving away assets.
We're not like
we don't use anymore,
bro. But what about the other war with
Ukraine?
Same
thing. Assets.
We're
not throwing cash at them.
So when Congress and the president and all that be like, hey, we signed over $10 billion to Ukraine and stuff, it's literally just $10 billion worth of stuff we don't use anymore. So think about this. Think about this way, right? The war in Iraq, right? That's probably been over for the last 10 years, basically, right? All the equipment we have from Iraq, though, is still there. It's still in our basement or whatever. We have nothing. What can we do with it? So in the basement. So basically, what do? It is low-key like a tax write-off. Hey, do you guys need it? We don't need it. It's like having an old PS1 downstairs, a whole bunch of them, and you got the P5 Pro upstairs. It's like, I'm not gonna give my P5 Pro, but y'all can have all these PS1s, right? And then I'm gonna value those PS1s like, oh, this one costs $2 million. This, that, and the third. That's what we're sending. So we're not actually sending money. We're sending equipment. We're sending assets, and of course, assets depreciate over time for those who are accountants, things like that. So we're not actually sending dinero. So I get what you're saying there. And I always say this: I think we should focus on ourselves before we focus on our neighbors. I always say that too. Okay, if your house is on fire and your neighbor's house is on fire, put your house out first, and then you can access your water to help out your neighbor. That's what I would say. But
I just
go ahead, Jared, if you want to.
Oh, just to sprinkle in really quick. And also, whenever you hear in the news, oh, we sent $30 billion to Israel, we sent $30 billion to Ukraine, and someone's like, oh, Biden, or if Trump was president, why would Trump do that? It's never the president. Congress has the keys to the purse. So if there's ever money being sent, be mad at Congress. That's all them going like, yeah, let's send them 30 billion. Just as a heads up.
Yeah, the president's the figurehead. Whenever it comes to spending money, the president is the figurehead. Always remember that. But I'm looking at the House Committee on budget.house.gov, and the border crisis costs about 150.7 billion. Right? But then I also see here that each year illegal immigrants give about 100 billion in federal, state, and local taxes. So, technically speaking, just from a give and take, we make more money off them than we do without them. Now, the issue is the crime part. That we can talk about, but when it comes to they took our jobs and shit like that, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Okay, no, they didn't. Right, but I do believe there is a crime. There some that come with crime and stuff. We already know about the local gangs in certain states. Most when it comes to the Spanish gangs, normally they have roots in Mexico. That's when they get their supplies. That's where they get this. That's where they get that. So I'm not even going to deny that, right? Along with the fact that I guess us in Mexico tend to have like some sort of agreement or something when it comes to criminals. Because why is it everybody always run to Mexico? You ever notice that? Every time they want to flee the state, oh, let me go to Mexico. Why not Canada? I thought Canada was good, right?
Well, Canada. Well, we even agree with Canada though. They'll send them right back.
I could have been visiting. You know what I'm saying? I could have been visiting. There's a certain part of Canada where it's just woods, and then it's a clear line, and then welcome to Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but that's like rough terrain. It's cold as shit. There's bears and wolves. Like, nah.
But then you got the desert, and it's like cold and shit, and rain and scorpions. Right? One gonna be in your boot if you go to sleep.
I'll take that.
Over
Canadian wilderness. Over Canadian wilderness? Yes.
Go in the summer. Go in the summer then. Yeah. Okay.
Escape in the summer?
Yeah, escape during the summer. Right? I'm just saying, because when the police find out you're gone, guess what? It's now fall.
Well, the reason
you're already over there.
The reason why people flee to Mexico is because it's easier to get out. You could just pay.
But why?
Because you could just pay.
But why?
Oh, a lot of those cops will easily just take some cash.
Oh, okay. So basically we got
be bribed.
So we got an American issue then.
It's kind of
it's
a little bit of both.
Yeah. But my biggest thing is like I said, when it comes to this whole Trump and first of all those people that says like the end of the world's happening. Look, if the end of the world's happening, it was good to see y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. Because
it's been fun.
No, because I mean, let's be honest, bro. What can we do? You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, there's so many fail safes. There's so many things that because if Trump right now said, "All right, guys, I'm pushing the button," and he pushed the button, guess what? That button ain't launching shit. That button's gonna send a signal to the other people who can launch the shit, and they're gonna look at him and go, "No." Like what are we talking about? Like, I hate doomsday theory whenever it comes to these presidential elections.
No.
The world's not going to end. There's going to be another president after them. It just comes down to, did they help the average American or not? Now, Trump is not going to help the average American in regards to somebody around my salary because his tax cuts don't help me. They hurt me. Now, the only thing I can say is if he can bring down the cost of everything, cool, right? On the Kamala, right? I was going to get a nice, Kamala, I think so. I was going to get a nice tax break. I was going to get my child care tax increase. I got 2 kids now. I'm about to be rolling it, yo. You know what I'm saying? Field trip money. Let's go on a field trip. You know what I'm saying? That's what and on top of that, student loans. Her policies were going to benefit me directly, not indirectly, directly. So when I looked at Trump, it's like, what policies are going to affect me in a good way? None of them, other than we hope to bring down the cost of living. And it's like, for me, it's always a thing where it's like, if you don't have a plan in regards to something that big, it's going to take you years. Right? On top of that, you got to have the Republicans and the Democrats behind you, which a lot of people, again, don't realize when it comes to simple economics. Okay, first of all, I want to say Supreme Court shouldn't be lifetime. Okay, all because you were alive when JFK was assassinated don't mean you know shit about JFK and what he learned. All right, so you being a judge since 1968 doesn't benefit me in 2024. It should literally be, hey, we have a new president, new Supreme Court. Or at least get two terms, maybe 2 terms, right? First president, second president. If the third president like you, you can stay. If they don't, bye-bye. I think that's how it should be. Because so much of what Biden was doing, especially with the student loans, states were filing to say, no, we don't want this to happen. Right? Why? You states lose money if that person's paying federal student loans because it's not being spent in your state. It's being spent to the federal government. And because it's being spent to the federal government, guess what they can do? They can then write off the interest rates on that student loan. And now you, as the state, got to pay them back money. So what are you talking about where you say it hurts us? You're just greedy because it was only Republican states and it was only states where nobody fucking lives. You know what I'm saying? But everybody mad at Biden because they're like, and they're making fun of him because like you said you was going to forgive student loans. And he tried. He fixed the student loan public workers thing though. He fixed that whole system because it turns out since Bush, and shout out to my boy Obama, but you fucked up too. They didn't fix the issue. So since that thing was implemented in 2007, only 4K people have been forgiven since. Only 4K. Since Biden took over, it's at least 20, 30, 40K now. Because that's how it should have been. But people's things weren't getting counted. I'm halfway through mine now because I work for a hospital. I got my shit monitored, right? You ain't gonna tell me a certain payment didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? So people got to realize a lot of the policies that the president has been trying to pass, past and present, even with Trump, a lot of stuff that they're trying to pass is still Congress-based. Congress will determine if that president is remembered, basically, right? And then the only way the president can get behind certain things is an executive order. But, of course, that executive order also has limitations. So what can we do? Sam, if you let's say you were to explain things to your daughter, how would you sum up the judicial, the executive, and the legislative branch?
Honestly, Duncan, I would pull up the pictures for her because we're more visual learners. I would pull up the pictures and explain what in little writing what everything does, and that's the best I could do for her in explaining. I haven't taken history since high school.
True.
And I never took any type of class that was like in depth in regards to our government. I never took like a government class or anything, but I would little pictures.
Okay. And what was that other? What that do? Bill? My name is Bill from Capitol Hill, something like that. Junction, right? Junction.
Yeah, Conjunction. Yeah.
Conjunction.
Schoolhouse Rock. Schoolhouse
Yes.
Rock. They had a subject.
We need
for
that
everything.
shit back. We need that back. Now, Jared, a lot of people don't understand that we aren't fully a democracy. Can you explain that part?
Not really. I know it's half and half.
I got you guys. So your state, right, is a democracy. You have a huge impact on what goes on in your state. Your vote counts towards what goes on in the state. As you guys may have noticed in Massachusetts or Pennsylvania during this past election, they have questions on those ballots. And those questions are your state exclusively, what you want legalized, unlegalized, all that stuff. Okay. So who you pick, and it matters all the time. Your city councilor, your mayor, your governor, your state senator, your representative, all that stuff. You control everything there. So that's why it's a democracy. Majority wins. Now, once you get to federal, we are a republic. So instead of it being majority wins, it's your representatives vote for you. Right? Now, some states make it so that the representative has to go based off popular vote. Others haven't really allowed that. So sometimes they'll have people go rogue. Because I'll be honest with you. Say Massachusetts, first of all, Massachusetts was all blue, right? Forget that, except the people around Springfield. Fuck y'all. But it's all blue, right? Now, say we went all red out of nowhere. Oh, everybody voted for Trump. You know, if I was an elector, I would look at y'all votes and go, Harris. I would vote Harris right there. And y'all couldn't do shit about it until the next 4 years. Right? Because y'all chose me to represent you in your best interests. And if I suddenly become that person that go, y'all don't know what y'all want, it's my turn. Now you're screwed because fuck you, right? That's where everybody has an issue with when it comes to the whole Republic thing. Because Bush and Trump and other Bush, they won by not winning the popular vote. Because states like Massachusetts, California, I think maybe Florida as well, like big liberal states like that have like a lot of population to them, they're not as represented as somebody like Arkansas or Kentucky or whatever, right? Because they get a certain representative per population, per something, per square feet, per whatever, whole bunch of shit. But basically, the person in California has one representative from California has less say than one in Arkansas. And it's only because nobody want to live in fucking Arkansas. So they made it so that the little smaller, less populated states have more more power in it. But I always say this: it's fucked up because we're the United States of America. Okay, so all because California is mostly liberal and a huge bunch of a population. First of all, everybody who knows the GDP of this country is mostly Texas, California, Massachusetts. If you separate all those, America could not run on its own. Just couldn't. But I digress. If those states are limited because everybody wants to live there, which means we're doing a good fucking job, why are we why are we penalized for that? You know, what Jared, what's stopping you from going to Maine?
Money.
It's cheaper over there.
Is it?
Yep.
Than PA, really?
Mm-hmm.
I would have to look at the job prospects
Yeah.
and the pay.
There's barely any. Because nobody lives there, right? Because nobody lives there, right? Like that's, and mind you, Maine is a beautiful place. It's amazing. They just not run well. You know what I'm saying? So guess what votes they got? They got 2. They got 2 electoral votes. That's all the representatives they got. It's kind of fucked up, ain't it? So all I'm saying is, to all my peoples out there, study up before the next election comes up. All right. I understand the Latinas and Latinos. I may be out of pocket saying this, but damn, y'all better go check on y'all family. Y'all better go check on you know, Maria, you know. Go check on Julio, you know, Juan. Go check on all of them, because if they don't got their papers right, goodbye. Sayonara, arrivederci. Because that mass deportation is serious. Because Trump knows this is the last time. Remember, last election, he thought he was going to beat Biden. So his first run at presidency was whatever. Now he knows this is the final run. This is his last dance. All right, shout out to Michael Jordan. This is his last dance. So he's going to put boots to asses and do whatever the fuck he wants.
Or at least try to. And we'll have to, once again, you have to see how the checks and balances hold when he starts.
Man, listen, if there's one thing his cabinet is going to do is find loopholes. Trump he's not a successful businessman. He's a successful person at getting away with shit. Because almost every business adventure he's been on has failed. So he's still a billionaire because he's Donald Trump. Just remember that. But almost every venture he's been. Remember Trump steaks? Remember he had his own steak?
He had
How
steak.
you fuck up steak? Yeah, he had his own steak. He had his own steak. He had his own TV channel. He had all that shit. Remember The Apprentice?
I remember the show. Yeah, everyone knows The Apprentice. Yeah.
Guess what? It was ass. That's why that shit got canceled. But yeah, so I want to ask both of you this question. Okay, if you were to change how the country is run, so you can change two things. You could change either changing it to a complete democratic, so like the whole thing. So you could change one thing on the federal level and one thing on the state level. What would you guys do? Jared, Sam, you go first because you're our guest, and then Jared goes after.
I need time to think.
All right, Jared, you got it.
If I were to change something on the state level, there should be, I guess you would call it a law, maybe there should be like sort of a code of ethics that all states have to abide by. So basically, if you are going to put a law into effect, let's say you have to present this law to, I guess, Congress, maybe. And you would have to present to them the the benefits versus the cost that your law could potentially have. So, for example.
So hold on. This is your state change?
Fuck, no, you're right. No, I'm mixing the two. My bad.
Yeah, I'm about to say because Congress was about to give federal. Congress a lot more power. So yeah, be careful. Be careful.
So, what doesn't every state have a council as well though? Like there's
So your representatives and your governor are basically a council. Basically.
Okay.
Senator, governor, and representatives.
But there is still like something. There's still like city council though, and there's multiple people.
Yeah, city. So for example, Billy's thing would be different from Allentown's.
Right.
So you guys will have different council doing different city laws and everything like that. So you want to go more city than state, because state will include
everybody, every city.
Then, yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah, I would go statewide. So basically, because honestly, whenever this whole cities having different laws is so dumb. So, for instance, like weed, right? One city, it's perfectly legal, no one cares. But you go to another city, nah, it's a crime. Now you're going to jail. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like y'all need to come to an agreement on that. So, how about that? That's what we'll go with. If they're going to pass a law, every city has to get together, every county, agree on it, pass it. Goes for the state, because it doesn't make sense to have this cookie cutter rule play between one state. That makes no logical sense, and it's not very confusing.
No, that's okay. That's pretty valid. So we're basically you basically want the state itself to be mandatory laws. So so you can't just suddenly, because you're over here and he's over there, and be like, yeah, there's a different law over here, boy. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, what about federal?
Federal? Oh, man. I mean, you said it already. Term limits. That's the easiest one to do. But if I'm going to go outside of that, if as long as you're in any part of like legislative, executive, judicial, you are not allowed to have any stocks whatsoever. Because I am so fucking tired of them doing all that bullshit where it's, oh, so-and-so sold off $40 million stock. Well, how do you know to do that? Y'all cheating. We know they're cheating, but they just don't get caught. No one has snitched yet and revealed all of the illegal shit that they do. But nah, you shouldn't be allowed to have any stocks whatsoever. Your job is to just focus on laws and running the country. No stocks. And if you're like, well, I'm not making enough money, then get out and go do something else. Because clearly you're not working for the people. There you go. No stocks. None.
Okay. Oh, damn. I think that's a good one. Because they do influence the stock market heavily. As you guys seen, I don't know if y'all seen the GameStop situation, where just enough people, it didn't matter how poor they were or whatever, as long as it was enough, shifted the entire price of a GameStop stock and made millionaires in like days. And funny part was the Fed or whoever's in charge, the gaming commission, whatever,
they turned it off.
They saw this happen. Saw all these broke people getting rich and was like, we can't allow them to do it. So they shut down trading on GameStop stock for at least, I would say, like 24 hours. And in that time, guess what? Everybody's money dropped. Everybody's, right? So mind you, the people who did it only did what rich people do. They only did what rich people do. But because it was poor people doing it, and that, so be careful when when that happens. So that's pretty valid. So you want mandatory state laws, so cities can't differentiate between laws, and you want basically no investment ability in regards to those of the federal government. I like it. That's pretty good. What about you, Sam?
I think for state, I would rather have seen the MCAS question, for example. I would have rather that had been something that came sooner, that we could have all voted sooner. So I would have rather have the ability to vote on something that could change education statewide sooner than rather having to wait for a major voting season. I'd rather have things that are going to be major changes be something that all of us who currently reside in the state have the ability to immediately vote on, versus having to depend on representatives who may not really represent me.
Okay. So you want to keep the democracy in, but you want to change the whole everything needs to be held in November.
Yes. I think there are things that need to be looked at immediately.
Yeah. Okay.
There are definitely.
Go ahead. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that there are definitely things that need to be looked at immediately. I think that even because I saw a TikTok post of a mom, there are certain things like a gender neutral bathroom that I don't fully agree with. Because I went to a location where there was a gender neutral bathroom, and I found it highly inappropriate that my daughter was using the restroom at the same time that there is a man at a urinal. Things like that should be voted upon everyone who resides in the state. Can we have a gender neutral restroom where whoever wants to choose to use that gender neutral restroom can go to? Yeah. But there should also be the other option, so our children can safely go into the restroom.
She doesn't know it, chat, but she just referenced South Park. I just want y'all to realize that was a whole episode of South Park where Cartman had to use the unified bathroom, and so he had to dress up a certain way. That's all I'm saying. No, that's extremely valid. So would you say once it becomes the focal point of whoever is in charge, so representatives or whatever, once that happens, then there should be voting on it, let's say like a week after. So like So, like, let's say it gets brought to their desk.
Mhm.
They look at it, they talk with the council, everything like that, and they go, "All right, guys, let's see if this should be law or not."
Mhm.
And then they'll announce it to the people of that state, and then go, "Remember to vote on this, guys, in the next few days." So it's not just one day where you may be busy the entire time or anything like that, or you may be at work, or you may have been sleeping when they announced it. You have basically a week, let's say a week to decide.
Mhm.
But the voting process is still the same as it is with the president, where you are fact checked on who you are. You have to validate who you are and everything like that. Submit the paper, get an exit verification of who you are, and then be about your day. You think that should be the case?
I think so. I think that there are honestly immediate things that need action on. And I think that we depend on ourselves versus our representatives. I don't like people representing me because you don't know what I'm going to say or how I'm going to feel. And there are things that need to change. And I'd rather change it within our state, but I have the ability to use my voice. Well, my hand with my pen.
Okay, I like that. That's fucking beautiful. Okay. I think I could work with that. I think that would be a healthy change. And if you want to, and I'm just being honest with you, if you want to, email your representative, email your governor, your senator. Elizabeth Warren is ours, so email her, tell her the process, and they can vote on it and like go from there. You know what I'm saying? That's a good idea, in my opinion. Let's see, state wise.
Mhm.
Okay. State wise, whatever your minimum wage is whatever the worker of your state works for. So
your representative.
yeah. So if your minimum wage is actually, I'm not saying that. I mean, not say that's too harsh. I mean, that's too harsh because minimum wage is more for teenagers, you know, kids who just got their first job. That's what minimum wage is for. I want y'all to realize that. That's what it's for. It's not for career people. It's not. How about this? They get the median wage of their state. Every state representative gets the median wage of their state, because the reason why I say median instead of average is because there's outliers. There's too many outliers where, let's basically say, if we go by average, right? If somebody earns nothing and the other person earns $1 million, then the average is going to be 500,000. Clearly, that person who has $1 million can touch 500,000. Clearly, the person that has zero has no chance. So you can't do that. So median is more like, if there's so many people over here with less than ideal situations or finance, and there's only a handful over here, it's gonna shift over more towards that majority. So that's what I gotta say with that. The second I would do for federal, abolish parties. You don't represent shit. You ain't no Republican. You ain't no Democrat. You ain't no Tea Party. You ain't no House Party. I don't give a damn. You are you. Speak on your policies yourself. I don't give a damn what that other person's party did 50,000 years ago, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us like to vote party. Oh, I'm Team Democrat. You don't know what Democrats do. I'm Team Republican. I don't know what Republicans do, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I have Republican friends, right? Some of them is valid. Some of them is like, based on how you was raised, based on how much money you made, you're a Republican, bro. I understand that. Other ones is like, motherfucker, you broke like me. Why are you being a Republican? Like, did your boss give you a bonus after they cut his taxes? No. The fuck you doing? At the same time, Democrats, motherfucker, stop giving my money away. Give that shit back to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get rid of the parties in general. And on top, I would just, even just like a side note, every debate, you can't talk shit about the other person. Because if you can't talk shit about the other person and that 1 hour debate turns to 10 minutes, I know who you are now. But that's all debates are nowadays. It's just talking shit. And I feel like that's where Kamala Harris messed up. You can't be Trump. Kamala Harris, you're Kamala Harris. You can't be Trump. Stop talking shit about Trump. Because only Trump could talk shit about Trump. Let's be honest. Like, stop the JD Vance, not JD Vance. Yeah, JD Vance. Oh, he's a horrible person. But yeah, that's my two. That's my two. Is to get rid of those entirely.
That's good though.
That's just bad. And then we can end this. We can end this a little fun game. Oh. So I don't know if y'all ever heard of like regretful wishes. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So Jared, I think me and you played it like probably a few years ago. So basically, you come up with a wish, and it's up to us to make you regret it. It will give you a side effect of that wish. All right? It's going to cause you to think. So make sure you think about a wish that nobody can mess up. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go 2 rounds of it. 2 rounds of it. You want to start us off, Jared?
Okay.
Good.
I'll keep it simple. I wish that I could teleport.
Okay. You can teleport, but it's always 1 inch in front of you.
But that's
Yes, sir. That's how we do it. Come on, let's get it. I got y'all. Okay. I wish to win the lottery.
How to make that bad?
Y'all get comfortable with it. I win this round.
Happens. Damn, that's annoying.
There you go. All right, I got that round. Before we get to Sam, I'm gonna put QC's up here. So QC says, "I wish I was able to live through every era of life." Okay, what's this? QC, you can live through every era of life. The life of a chicken.
Bruh.
You could be the egg, the embryo, whatever. Like, I'm just saying, that's how you do it. Sam, what you got?
I wish I could drive on the Tobin every single day and not have to pay tolls.
Oh, okay. You can drive on the Tobin Bridge without tolls. The first time you do, the bridge collapses.
No.
Look, this is how it go. Let's get it. Come on. What's up? Let's go, Jared.
I wish that I could never be poisoned / get sick.
Ooh.
You'd have to take medicine every single day.
Ooh. Oh, hold on. And it's not bubblegum flavored either. They gotta be bitter. They gotta be bitter
like
medicine.
dirt.
It gotta be that medicine that go like that. You gotta have that one. Okay, Sam. Okay. Ooh, okay. I wish I could play in the NBA.
Okay. They always put you in the last minute of the entire game. You'll get
damn.
So either your team is like guaranteed a win already, or they already just got the ass whooped and they're like, all right, go ahead. We don't care.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Clear the bench.
This man QC talking about you got injured first game. Like, damn, yo. Damn. Okay.
Your leg looks like a chicken wing.
Okay. All right, well, Sam, what's up?
I wish I could travel to any country I wanted to every year without having to worry about bills back home.
So travel to any country every year.
Mm-hmm.
and all your bills are paid while you're away.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
So you can travel to any country every year.
Mm-hmm.
You said travel, right? Travel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You could travel, but every transportation you're placed on, you get kicked off. And there's only 2 countries you can go to by car. I'm just saying. So there you go.
No,
last round. What?
There's more countries.
Are you talking about South America?
You could literally travel all through Mexico down via car, all the way through down Central America.
But you got kicked out the car.
I'll have my own car.
You got kicked out that shit too.
GTA transportation. Any transportation, you get kicked out.
Okay. All right. Last round, y'all. Let's get it. Make it a good one. Make a snake.
You said make a snake?
Make us think.
Oh, make a snake. I wish I could cure any disease.
You could cure any disease, but you'd be stuck with that disease.
Oh, I was gonna do that. Oh, I knew I was gonna do it too. Oh my god. All right, you got that, Sam. It's gonna be a walking World War Z zombie.
No, I'm just not gonna cure shit now.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I wish I had super strength.
Oh, that's easy. You just have no control of it.
What does that mean, though?
It means that as soon as you get out of bed, you going through the floor because you kick too hard. You put your feet down too hard. You just ripped out the floor. It means when you go to open the door, you're crushing the doorknob and ripping it off the hinges. It means when I see him, I'm like, oh, what's up, Dunk? And you give me a high five, you slapping my arm off, and I'm gonna be on the ground screaming.
Okay, you got that. Oh, sure. QC said you can be strong, but mentally you're weak,
bro.
He said Hulk when Thanos beat him. That's funny. That's valid. That's a good one, though. Those are good ones. Okay. All right. Sam, go ahead. I'm gonna make sure I get your ass on this one for stealing mine.
Okay. I wish my family and I could live a happy life with no worries.
All right. You can live a happy life with no worries. You guys turn into Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba. Hakuna Matata. It means no worries.
Okay.
You got to eat bugs for the rest of your life. That one juicy beetle. Oh, man. But all right, guys, that is it for episode 2 of the podcast. I want you guys to give a hand of applause to Sam. Her name is Sam, and it's just Sam. She's a gamer, y'all. She's a gamer. She's with my boy Junkie. Shout out to Junkie. He actually popped up in the background a little bit. But yeah, we appreciate you for your input on the Latino vote. I can understand it now. So yeah, with that being said, y'all, appreciate y'all. We hope you guys have a very good night.